SmackDown is just gonna forget about Rollins. He's been forgotten. First of all, I just want to say, they were literally mentioning like new top stars. Hello, ding dong. Even though Rollins is leaving in a month, we still need to talk about him. He's relevant, people. SmackDown review. Who's excited? Starting right now on another episode of Kimmy Talks Wrestling. SmackDown starts off, so if you didn't know, they had like a little kickoff show, which I had no idea what they were doing, so I missed it completely. Sad face. That's my roommate. We have a live audience, guys. We love live audiences. So the SmackDown premiere kicks off with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They're in the ring, and they're telling us all about the exciting matches we have tonight. So, you know, you had Strowman and Reigns for the Universal title, you had Hardy and Sullivan, you had the New Day's last match against Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sheamus, and you had all these great matches, and they were introducing, you know, the new top stars, and they forgot about their own child, Seth Rollins. They talked about Kevin Owens, they talked about Aleister Black, the Street Profits, all these people that are going to be huge names when it comes to that main event title picture, which we talked about. So, you know, of course there's going to be a little brawl. Just a small one. So in hindsight, basically, they're talking about, you know, the tag team title matches, the Street Profits versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. They come out and attack Street Profits, and it's an all-out brawl. And Rollins dipped. Rollins literally sat there, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not for this. I'm just gonna come out for my promo later." And he literally dipped, which was really funny. But this was a good opening segment. I think it's important that you get to establish like who you're going to put your main stars on SmackDown are and kind of like lay that out. I thought it was really smart. I hope they do something like this on Monday as well, because you know there are big matches on Monday. But this was really good. And it segued right into our first match, Lars Sullivan and Jeff Hardy. So we've talked about Lars, and I still don't know how he's with the company, but that's a whole other rant. So this match was okay. I understand that like you're trying to put like veterans with Sullivan to put him over, but Hardy, Jeff is Jeff. He literally just got out of an Intercontinental title picture, and they're gonna like have him job to Lars Sullivan. Okay. The match is okay. I mean, you know, you're trying to make Lars look strong. Jeff had some offense in there, which was really good, but he really didn't do anything for me. Like, this was one of the matches I was like, really? Like, we're really having this right now? So, you know, they do that amazing video package from Bianca Belair. I am so excited on the SmackDown kickoff show and everywhere. Everyone's just putting on the fact that Bianca Belair is going to be the star on SmackDown, and I honestly hope the first thing she needs to do, like imagine this, Hell in a Cell ends. Sasha's standing over Bayley. She has that SmackDown Women's Championship. And all of a sudden you hear Bianca's theme song and she just comes out and she's staring at Sasha. That's the feud that's going to take you into 2021. Now, I'm not saying Bianca needs to win the title. Don't do that, because I know Sasha does have a nice little history with losing titles in her first reign. But all you literally need to do is just, you have to put Bianca over. You could have her in squash matches. You could have her, like, fill around with people on the roster, but you have to put her over as a main star, because that's going to be literally the three top stars on SmackDown for the girls. It's going to be Sasha, Bayley, and Bianca. So please, make her involved. Don't lose her like you did on Raw. You lost her on Raw. Make her known. And I like this. That package, you know, showing her old track meets, showing, you know, her in the combine. That's what you need to do, because if people who don't watch NXT, they have no idea who the hell that is. So this was very well. And they show the New Day. You know, this was sad. This was actually really sad, you know, that the fact that the New Day's breaking up 6 years for a faction that literally thought everyone was like, oh, no, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. They're one title reign away from breaking the record for the most tag team championships, guys. And, you know, they're in the ring and they're talking about, like, all the great memories together. Like, you know, their first title reign, their feud with the Usos, them hosting WrestleMania, like, all these iconic moments that you guys remember. And we can honestly say it's a part of our childhood. And you just remember, like, all the hard times, like, everyone saying, like, the New Day's boring. and they became the most entertaining thing you saw for 6 years. Without the New Day, Kofi probably would have never even got that world title reign. He would have never gotten it if it wasn't for the New Day. So just thinking about it, you know, it's sad, but you know, you're so excited to see Big E hopefully beat Reigns at Mania. You're so excited to see what's next for Kofi and Xavier on Raw that you think to yourself, yeah, this sucks right now, but in the long run, this is going to be pretty awesome. And, you know, you get a little bit of both on, like, both nights. Woo! So that leads into a match with Cesaro, Shinsuke, and Sheamus. Oh my god, this is so good. If you're going to send the New Day off, you need, like, them in the bar, a great feud. This was fantastic. Like, this was very good tag team wrestling. The New Day won, and you know, they had that little moment in the ring where they're like actually realizing like this is the last match that we could have ever. And you know, they start crying and you get emotional. Like, this is it. This is it. It's an end. This is truly an end of an era. But fantastic job. Kudos to all 6 men. And Big E, I hope you're the one to beat Reigns at Mania because you deserve it, buddy. You honestly, honestly deserve it. And then we go into the Friday Night Savior, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to say a couple things about Rollins first. So the first thing is, everyone was complaining about what he was wearing. Like, why? Why does it matter? He has a nice body. Let him show off his 6-pack. You know, he's leaving in a while. We need to, like, treasure this. 2, if you read social media in the past couple hours, Becky was apparently backstage at Smackdown last night. So a lot of people are saying like, oh, Rollins isn't safe. Like, how could he bring his 7-month pregnant wife with him to Smackdown, to Florida of all places where it's not safe? If she was wearing a mask, like she got the COVID test you get when you get to the building, I think you're fine. So I was very excited that Bryan was back. I think SmackDown is, like, when I think of SmackDown, I think of Bryan. So he's out there and he's saying how excited he is to finally be in the Thunderdome. He's been home for a while and he's been with Birdie and he's been with Buddy. And they show like Brie and Birdie on like the Thunderdome. And he's like, hi Bird. And Birdie's like, Dada, yay. And he's saying like how excited he is for those new refreshing faces like the Kevin Owens, the Sami Zayns, the Aleister Blacks. Again, we have no mention of Seth Rollins here, but thankfully he comes out. So Rollins comes out, and the whole line of the night was when Rollins is like, I'm so glad your wife left you off daddy duties for you to come home, like, to come to work. Rollins, you're leaving in a month. It's the same thing. So Rollins is out there and saying, like, you know, like, me and you, we were both hungry when we were young, and, like, let's change it together. Let's change the game. Come with me. Be my disciple. And Bryan's just like, I see your vision to change the future, but it's kind of dumb. And Rollins like, no, you're dumb. And I'm like, you're a child, Colby, but okay. So then Rollins and Bryan, you know, start to brawl, and you're like, thank God the Bryan Rollins feud you've been waiting like 8 years for is gonna happen. Nope. Because out came idiot number 1, idiot number 2, and idiot number 3. So Ray and Dominic come out, and then Murphy comes out, and Rollins like, yeah, Murphy, we're gonna take him down together. Nope. Murphy beat down Rollins, and Rollins runs away. And then Murphy's like to Dominic and Ray, he's like, come on, buddies, let's forget everything we did in the past. And then they're like, nah, you messed up. So I'm assuming the match is going to be at Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Murphy and Rollins. I'm excited. This is most likely Rollins' last pay-per-view match before he goes off to give to him and Becky giving birth to their child. But I don't know where the feud is going. Like, I feel like you just dropped Aaliyah. Like, you need to continue the feud. If you're not going to continue the feud, what was the point of everyone going with him to SmackDown? Also, I did read the only reason Rollins got drafted was because they needed to move AJ to Raw because of Heyman issues. Like, thanks, Paul. You a real one. You got my favorite drafted to SmackDown. Next, we move into the SmackDown Tag Team title match between the Street Profits and Rude and Ziggler. This is a pretty good match. I mean, Ziggler and Rude have only been teaming back now for, I think, a couple, like 2 or 3 weeks. But this was a good dynamic tag match. I'm excited to see what the Street Profits are going to do on Smackdown. I think you kind of have a tag team division. Because now you have Nakamura and Cesaro. You have Ziggler and Rude. You can have a couple other teams in there. But this match was really good. It really showed like how dominant the Street Profits were. The match lasted maybe like 5 minutes. So, woo! You're going to be pushed to the moon, guys. But this was good. I like this. It was simple, it was fun, it was exciting. It was good for the premiere. It was really good for the premiere. And then that contract signing. Phenomenal. So I go back to NXT when Bayley and Sasha were signing their contract for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And it's like Banks had like the stamp because she was like, nah, I'm not signing. Here's a stamp. So, you know, so they're sitting there and Sasha's saying how, like, you know, you deserve hell after everything you've been through and, like, I'm going to beat you. And Bayley's like, I'm the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. I did it all on my own. And Sasha's like, really? Because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be on the main roster because I brought you in as my tag team partner at Payback in 2016. A lot of the title defenses wouldn't have been won if it wasn't for me. And I was always there for you and you turned your back on me. And, you know, the line of the night, my name is bigger than your championship. And Bayley refused to sign. Sasha signed it in 0.5 seconds and Bayley walked away. So this is interesting. I feel like now you're just going to tease the fact that Bayley's not going to sign, that she's going to end up signing either like Sunday morning, like the morning of Hell in a Cell, or like the Friday right before, like the go home show. This was an amazing segment. These two have put so much work into this story alone that it's the thing that you tune into Friday night and you're like, I want to see what's going to happen to Sasha and Bayley. And that's what you want. You want to tune into SmackDown and you want to be like, okay, I'm looking forward to the Women's Championship storyline because that's phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to the Universal Championship storyline, which is, again, something phenomenal that everyone's looking forward to. So this was great. Like, I'm so excited for this match. If you are not excited for this match at Hell in a Cell, I don't know what you're doing. You're crazy. You are crazy, I tell you. And I don't call people crazy often. And then we go into our main event. So this also, it was very funny. Like, I remember, so we have game night on Fridays. So I remember, like, we were, like, doing game night. We were watching Smackdown. And I was like, it's the main event already? What? So throughout the night, too, they were showing several legends in the Thunderdome. Like, they showed Goldberg, they showed Mark Henry, they showed Keith Lee, they showed Ric Flair. So, you know, they were going in and out, which was kind of cool too. Change locations, sad face. But anyway, so my friends and I were doing game night and I remember looking at my watch, it was like 9:30. I'm like, there's no way, like, SmackDown's almost over. Like, you forget almost that, like, SmackDown's only 2 hours and it goes by so quickly. So we get into our main event, which is Reigns and Strowman. This was so pointless. First of all, they were building up all night. What happens if Strowman gets drafted and, like, he goes to Raw with the title? No, that was never gonna happen. So basically Reigns did the low blow thing he did at Clash of Champions to Jay, so, you know, like the pin, and he went like this. And then he won by a submission, which he's never done before, and the commentators did a phenomenal job being like, oh my god, he won with a submission, this is crazy, this is a sign of Reigns that I've never seen before. And Jay was watching Gorilla, he comes out, and they start brawling like crazy. Like, this is a side of Jay I've never seen. So it ends with Jay just being destroyed by Reigns. I'm excited for the Hell in a Cell match. Like we talked about last week, I don't understand why it's an I Quit match. Like, you could just say, like, Hell in a Cell, but whatever. But this was good. I thought SmackDown was really strong. It's off to a really good start. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for next week. It was just such a good episode. Such a great episode. Thank you for tuning in for this another additional episode of Kimmy Talks Wrestling. Make sure to like this video. Comment below your SmackDown review, what you like, what you didn't like. Hit that bell for notifications and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Booty. Follow me on Instagram at Kimmy Talks Wrestling. I will see you Tuesday for our Monday Night Raw review. Goodbye, guys.